Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Well, it's been a bit here, and I'd love to show you my game room, but it's not done yet. I'm still waiting for my chair that was supposed to be delivered October 10th. As of filming today, it is Friday the 13th of November, and it's not expected until the end of the month with no date in sight. Well, now that we're kind of situated in here, I've gone back to actually playing games. I'm not one of the lucky few who was able to get a PS5 or a Series X, even though I have no reason to get one right now because all the games are pretty much either remakes or games you can get on the PS4. But anyways, I'm just going to play some games and hopefully get some content back on the channel. So for today's video, I'm actually taking a look at the free PS Plus game from October called Vampyr. Let's check it out.
There's a lot of games out there, some of which you've never even heard of. That's where I come in. I'm Lucious T. I've been playing games since the age of 2, and I have no life. This is Retroactive.
So Vampyr is a game that I was really excited to play back in 2018. It had this feeling that it was really going to take the vampire roleplay and make you kind of let loose in a sandbox world. And when the reviews came out, it really got bad reviews. And after playing it, I have to agree with some of what they said. My biggest complaint with the game is, obviously the graphics for a PS4 game, they aren't great. The faces I've seen much better done, but I'm not really hung up on that stuff. The part of the game where I felt was a letdown was just it's so homogenous. And that's kind of what's going on with all games now. They're so homogenous. Every single game I play nowadays has a crafting system. It has reagents you pick up. It has a skill tree. It has levels. Enemies take damage, and there's a stamina bar, a stun bar. It's pretty much, and then also when you talk to citizens, there's dialogue chat wheels. They unlock secret options where you have to get more dialogue. You can buy from vendors. There's a illusion of choice. There's a map you uncover. This game has collectibles, but they're subtle. But really, it's just there's so much in this game that I've seen before that I was kind of, it made it so I was easy to get into it, but really, let's get to the heart of the game. The game is fun. The combat is not great, but there's so many different weapon types that once I found the two-handed mace that allowed you to essentially parry, think like Sekiro or Dark Souls type parrying, which allows you to then stun the enemies faster, and then once you stun the enemies, you can go in for a bite, and when you bite them, it lets you drain some of their blood, and you get your blood meter up, and you get some health back. And that's kind of most of the combat loop right there, is constantly getting blood to use your blood abilities, and one of which allows you to heal yourself, which I spam the hell out of, and trying to break them and get their stun low enough so you can kick a bite and to slowly whittle their health down. You'll notice that you're always, so when you get the citizens, you have the option to consume them, and when you essentially eat them, you get all the experience in their blood, and that's the reason why you want to talk to them and find out their problems and learn about them, is because then if you decide to eat them, you'll get double experience. Now, the issue I have with games like this is no matter what the reward is, I'm not going to take that option. I kind of think of it like the Nemesis system from the Shadow of Mordor series. It's kind of what the citizens are like in this, because they all have their own little daily, not even routines. They're always in the same space. They have their own things. They're all hollow characters, but if you decide to eat one of them, then there's ramifications to be had. Now, I went through the game, and I didn't kill a single one. Part of it was because I'm a glutton for punishment. The game even tells you the more people you eat, the easier the game is. The reason for that is because you get a lot of experience. And there's no effective way of grinding experience in this game other than eating people, which I refuse to do. So I'm ignoring the main gameplay element that would have made this game interesting for me, and being stuck with all the other stuff that I've seen all over the place. Now, it's not to say it doesn't have benefits. There are a lot of benefits with the fact that you have an unlimited pouch. You can pick up as many reagents as you want. You can destroy things you pick up and sell them. Although I really didn't use the vendors that much. You will find that the citizens periodically get sick, which you can heal them. The reason is that you're a doctor. You were a doctor before you became a vampire. And the whole story is just it's just not interesting. When you give me this, and funny thing, especially nowadays, it takes place during the Spanish flu. Go figure. Like, my God, that is so, it'd be so on the nose now, but man, it's hilarious. I came out in June 2018 and it's about the Spanish flu. But yeah, it's just, the complaints they had is you have long load times, which I'll give it. You have long load times. So if you die on a boss fight, get prepared to wait 2 minutes before you can try again. So if you're zerging in there and getting yourself killed, it can be frustrating. And you'll notice sometimes when you're even running through town, there'll be a load screen while you're running through town, which can get you into some issues if you're running from enemies, or if just, it should load the whole town at once. That's kind of ridiculous. But it's fun. It's fun. It doesn't live up to the promise, but it also isn't as disappointing as people made it out to be. It's a standard third-person action game that we've all seen before. It's not as cumbersome with having to have all the reagents on you. It tells you what the stuff is made. If you find the things to make the different medicines for the townspeople, which I unfortunately ended up killing the townsperson that was going to give me the reagents for all the headache medicine, so I had to go and look up online where you could find that on a random corpse in the cemetery that you just happen to find. And it's just, yeah, I just don't get much interest from these games anymore when you talk to people. So, yeah, it's worth the free PS Plus game. It's probably worth a $15 pickup, maybe $10, $20, something like that. It's a great game to play during Halloween. I unfortunately played it the week after Halloween, but I enjoyed it. So if I was going to give it a rating, I think a 7 is pretty solid. It's not going to win any awards, especially the story. The love story, come on. I almost wish I'd just gone through and killed whoever I wanted, because it's funny. Once you get leveled up in this game, the enemies are jokes. So I randomly found some low-level enemies. And by low level, I mean my level-appropriate enemies, because the way the game works is the enemies are either 6-7 levels ahead of you and difficult, or they're cake. So yeah, it's an alright game. If you have PS Plus, hopefully you picked it up and you can try it. I would recommend it for next Halloween. So there you go. Pick it up, play it. That's your homework.